Cedar Fair just made their big 2023 announcements, and we have big changes coming to 6 different parks across the chain, and we're here to break it all down for you.
Starting with Kings Dominion is getting a 500-foot T-Rex. Oh my god, I can't believe it.
But in all seriousness, we have announcements at Canada's Wonderland, Carowinds, Cedar Point, Knott's Berry Farm, Worlds of Fun, and weirdly enough, California's Great America.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
I'm not sure I understand that one, but okay.
Worlds of Fun and probably had the biggest announcement out of anybody because they're getting Zambezi Zinger, which looks super awesome. So if you're from Kansas City, you're probably very excited right now.
However, seeing as your home Cedar Fair park most likely is not adding a new roller coaster next year, you're gonna have to go back to riding the same ones you've already done a million times.
Or if you're like me and your favorite ride is always going down for one reason or another, you can download Raid Shadow Legends so you have something to do to kill time because, you know, intimate.
With Raid Shadow Legends, you can take on the boss, not the roller coaster, participate in dungeon runs, campaign battles, and player versus player arena matches.
I am so sorry.
What are you doing?
Playing Raid Shadow Legends?
Oh, so am I. I just started a battle.
No way!
What are the odds of that?
Like nothing.
If you've heard of Raid Shadow Legends, you probably know it's got a ton of champions. Over 600 now, with millions of possible combinations. There's also an insane variety of bosses, like Hellraiser the Dragon. You see this guy within the first 10 seconds of playing Raid, sitting on that big old mountain of gold right there. But how do you beat him? See, the dragon has this terrible breath it uses every few turns, where it rears up and prepares to rain fire on you. When it does that, a chunk of his health bar turns purple. If you deal enough damage to remove that purple part of the health bar, it'll cancel the attack.
There's hundreds of artifacts to equip your champion. You can build your own team, and you can create your own unique, intimidating champion. Get it?
And this month, Raid's got a non-stop schedule of events and activities, including Forge Pass Season 3, with a bunch of amazing rewards up for grabs, including a limited edition artifact set. They also have some new champions and awesome looking skins from Madame Saris. Plus, later this month, Raid is giving everyone's favorite champion the upgrade he deserves. Death Knight is finally becoming a legendary champion. It's something everyone's been waiting for, and I can't wait to see how Ultimate Death Knight turns out.
You can download the game on either your mobile device or your PC using the QR code on screen, or there's a link in the description.
You also get a free starter pack worth almost $30, including the free champion Tyrell and a bunch of cool in-game loot. And all those rewards will be available in your inbox over the next 30 days, so there's never been a better time to get started.
What were your overall impressions from everything?
Overall, they're putting capital into places, for the most part, where they really need them.
Yeah.
The Great America thing is beyond me, but
yeah.
I think the only one that really stuck out to me as weird was Canada's Wonderland.
Yeah, that one I thought was a little strange too. So let's talk about that one straight away. So
Yeah.
we're getting 2 new rides, neither of which I think this park needs.
But I haven't even been there. I've only been to the Superior Park in Canada, which is also your favorite park in Canada now, right?
We're not talking about Laurent.
Oh, I am.
Canada's Wonderland is like the king of weird, crazy flat rides. They're basically the Wiener Prater of North America. So they're adding yet another crazy one. This is called Tundra Twister. It's the first of its kind in the world. It's built by Mondial. It's their avalanche model.
That is going to be an absolute spectacle.
And I think it's going right next to Yukon Striker too. So that's already like
2
one
spectacles.
GP magnet. Now you're getting another one right next to it.
I was going to say, I can already see the TikToks and the Reels flooding in.
Oh my
Would
gosh.
you ride this?
Very, very crazy looking.
God, it's giving me anxiety just looking at it. Okay.
I feel like Cedar Fair must know something about this park that we don't, because I feel like whenever they add a new flat ride, their attendance must just go up a ton, that they've figured out that that's what that park needs.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously don't see that side of like the business, so maybe Canadians just really like flat rides. I don't know, are there Canadians watching? Can you confirm or deny?
We're also getting a new roller coaster.
Yeah,
this is a family coaster. It's a launch coaster though. So there's actually a clone of it in Austria. And so we actually know what the layout is going to look like. And it's pretty decent looking. This one starts off going backwards, so like
Is it like a
backs
swing
you up.
launch?
Yeah, a little bit. Like it sends you backwards a little bit, and then you take off. They have some cool theming around this one. We know that it's going to be themed to Snoopy over in Canada's Wonderland, but this is like a pretty decent looking layout right here. It does go around twice, at least this one in Austria. So it's unclear whether the one in Canada's Wonderland will do that or not.
I find that so many times kid coasters are like really there's virtually no effort put into them, which I think it's cool that this one's gonna be a little more done up.
So it's built by Art Engineering. They only have 9 roller coasters currently out there. I know that they worked on Wonder Mountain's Guardian, so this would be the 2nd coaster that they've worked on for that park. All right, so next up is Carowinds. So we're getting Aeronautical Landing, and this is going to be Zamperla galore. which is awesome for our friends over at Zamperla, but we're getting some actually pretty cool rides here.
Carowinds is like this close to being an amazing park. It's
Yeah.
so close because they've got a pretty great lineup of rides. They have a couple areas of the park that are really nice looking. I'm particularly thinking about over by Copperhead Strike.
Oh, that area looks fantastic.
And I feel like they're like one really nice looking area away from being just like...
And this is it.
seems to be it.
Crossroads is not a good looking area of the park. It was a mess. So this has Afterburn. There was a Shooting Star, Yo-Yo, Plants vs. Zombies. And they're taking out all of those, except for Afterburn.
I was about to be like, wait, what?
No, the flat rides. They're taking away the flat rides, and so
Scare me
they're
like
completely renovating that section. So we're getting a Zamperla Nebulas. There's going to be a disco, an air race, some really cool looking stuff. They're also adding a new restaurant called Terminal A, which I think is pretty fun. I really like the theme that they're doing here, though. Like planes and everything. I mean, it's right near the Charlotte airport, and the Carolinas has a lot of history with like the Wright brothers and stuff like that. So
Yeah, and we said it's going to be right by Afterburn, which
Plane.
used to be flight deck.
Yeah, so
So it works perfectly. And it
Totally
still says
looks
clear to take off.
it's clear for takeoff, guys. All right, and then Cedar Point. So this is one that we've actually covered in an entire separate video, but you didn't get to say your thoughts on it. So, like, were you impressed with what they're doing? Were you disappointed? I know you were talking about how you wanted a boardwalk.
I know. See, I understand the decision. I really do, because that park really doesn't have many family-oriented rides, like, as far as roller coasters go. So it really does make sense to add a wild mouse. I'm not a big fan of wild mice, plural.
Mouses.
Wild mouses, whatever. And my instinct was to go for something Boardwalk classic, which I guess technically a wild mouse is.
Mm-hmm.
But like growing up like near like Morris Piers, I'm thinking like an awesome wooden roller coaster by the water.
Yeah.
That's what I see in my head. I'm picturing Boardwalk Bullet. I'm picturing
Giant Dipper, Santa Cruz.
yeah, or Great White at
Yeah,
Morris
yeah.
Piers. I mean, I get it. Like you do need more of a family lineup, but like even if you'd done like a GCI that was like
Scaled down, like Twister at Gronaland or something.
or like Invader. We just did Invader
Sure.
like yesterday. I would totally like that, but just maybe like a little bigger.
Bottom line is that area's gonna look fantastic now. Which
Yes.
before I don't think I would have said that.
So when we were looking at the numbers of like how much they're spending, I was like, I feel like a really good chunk of that is Cedar Point, because they're doing a huge plot of land.
I think another huge portion of that is going to Knott's, because one of the big things they're doing is renovating the Knott's Berry Farm Hotel. So they're redoing all like 300 plus rooms, the lobby, the eating areas, everything. So that's going to definitely be a huge chunk of that. But they're also redoing the Fiesta Village section of the park, which is going to be fantastic. Big part of that is Montezuma's Revenge is now Montezuma, the Forbidden Fortress, whatever the heck that means. It's a new storyline.
Yeah, but it sounds like it's going to be really cool. Like, I never got to do the old one. It's fine. But it sounds like they're going to randomize which way you start the ride as far as your launch.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is very, like, Fury-esque. I'm thinking,
is.
like, Fury.
Baba
with it, which
Yaga,
is,
yeah.
not Fury 35.
Because Montezuma relied on a flywheel launch system, which is very old school. It's also on the more expensive side. So they are clearly looking to do something else. So my guess is that this new launch system is going to be more in the style of we just did Psyche Underground at Walby, Belgium. And that is another Schwarzkopf shuttle loop. That one is completely indoors, but that no longer has the flywheel launch system either. I think that one uses LIMs. All right, so let's talk about California's Great America. I feel like this is like a, sorry, we're closing your park. Let's distract you
Literally.
and like tide you over with something. So here's a scrambler.
It's like you dump someone and you're like, but here's like a thing of flowers. I hope we can still be friends.
Liberty Twirler, a brand new take on a classic Midway ride. I'm like, okay, guys, calm down.
Yeah, it's like you're closing the park. Probably sooner than we think. So it's fine. Like, just go.
And lastly, we have, of course, Worlds of Fun with Zambezi Zinger, a big ol' GCI winter roller coaster, which will be awesome. Again, this is one that we have a full analysis of up on the channel, but what did you think of it?
Well, first of all, I love the representation it's bringing to the letter Z. There's just not a lot of coasters that start with the letter Z.
That's
So,
true.
representation, this is good. I like it. I also, I think it's so cool. I love, like, novelty things. So, like, the spiral lift hill, I think is so fun.
Yeah.
It's completely pointless other than the fact that it, it's paying homage to an old short stuff ride, but, like, it's so fun. Like,
Yeah.
I love pointless fun. And I believe they said that part will use Titan Track.
Yes, it is. Yeah, so this is not going to be fully Titan Track. It'll just have the spiral lift and then the curve that goes around the lift, which is interesting that they didn't choose to just go all out on the Titan track.
Or at least pick the spots that would take the most, like, brutal of a beating.
Yeah, I mean, my understanding of why the Titan track is on the spiral lift is because drive tires, you have to have a very specific alignment, and wood is going to have some give to it. So Titan track structure is not going to go anywhere, so that makes the lift easier. But then why then they only put Titan track on the part going around it? I don't know. It's interesting.
I understood like the idea of Titan track. Like, I mean, it's pretty much rip off IMAX, but I'm not even going to go there. Sorry. But it's for longevity purposes.
Yeah.
And it's weird that they're not going to put it on the parts of the ride that, like, you know, like valleys and stuff that always tend to become rough on wooden roller coasters. So I don't really understand that, but I don't have much experience with the Titan track. The only time I've ever felt it was White Lightning, which was like might as well have been this big. And it was drastically different. Yeah. Let me tell you. And White Lightning is a bit rougher of a ride. I imagine this won't be, so maybe the change wouldn't be that drastic.
It won't be as noticeable.
But give it, 10, 15 years, they might be like, wow, we really should have put more of this stuff on there.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what happens for sure. So that's everything that Cedar Fair announced.
You are forgetting the most important thing, guys. Michigan's Adventure made a great announcement.
What?
Yeah. It's pretty intense. Hold on. Let me just read it for you word for word. What's as cool as spending a day at Michigan's Adventure?
I can think of a lot of things.
A free frozen drink from McDonald's. Ah! Purchase $2 or more on the McDonald's app through August 19th and get a free frozen drink and be entered for a chance to win 6 tickets to Michigan's Adventure.
That
is wild.
That tweet has been up for days and it has 3 likes.
Dude, that means we should definitely do it because our odds are pretty
high. Our odds of winning are
pretty high.
Oh my.
Like, if only 3 people entered, 2 more, like, yeah.
All right, so besides from Michigan's Adventure, parks we did not get announcements for. Kings Dominion, Kings Island, Valley Fair.
That one surprised me.
Valley Fair,
I thought they were going to do something.
Yeah, I was expecting something from Valley Fair. Kings Dominion, I understand, because they were the only Cedar Fair park that really added something like big and brand new this year with like Jungle Expedition Tumbili.
Every time we go back, like we went back 2 days ago and there was things that I didn't recognize.
Yeah, from
they just keep
Jungle
adding
Expedition. More. I suspect that Kings Dominion is going to do something smaller, but they're going to announce it in like a couple months. Like one of the rumors was that they were going to retheme Backlot Stunt Coaster to fit within Jungle Expedition, and if they did, that's not something you announce like a full year before to sell passes. That's something that's like a hey, like, it's January, want to hear what we're doing for the year, so, like, I could see that happening.
I'm begging them to do that, because right now, none of the effects even work for Backlot. Like, what's the point?
No, I know. That needs it badly.
It's so awkward when you get to the part where all the effects are supposed to go off and everyone's just sitting there, like...
Yeah. Honestly, my hope for Kings Island is that, they just celebrated their 50th anniversary, so this year looked fantastic. They just did a lot of, like, basic kind of improvements everywhere. I imagine that they'll probably do something similar for next season, and then that's kind of gearing up as an in-between year for the Vortex replacement. That's my prediction.
I would agree with that.
So, yeah. And then poor Dorney, still nothing. Destined to never do anything interesting.
The problem is Dorney has really good rides. They just, like, there's no
Dorney
charm.
should be getting something like Zambezi Zinger.
Dorney should be getting something like Carowinds is getting and get, like, a nice themed area.
Which, right now, Nice and Dorney don't... No, I'm kidding. That park needs charm. Anyway, I think overall it's not a bad year at all for Cedar Fair, especially when you compare it to what Six Flags is doing.
Man, I went this whole time without saying anything about that, but you brought it up.
Yeah, a whole lot of nothing. So I love that Cedar Fair is pouring some investment into the parks, and even though they're not all big, huge additions, that's okay. Like improvement is great. I love seeing like steps in the right direction.
Yeah. And like we said, like none of them are like huge, crazy announcements. Like the biggest thing would have been Worlds of Fun.
Yeah, which isn't even that huge. That's a great one. The thing, honestly, the part about all of this that I thought was most interesting is they said that this is the most amount of money Cedar Fair has put in to their parks in a single year, which I don't think I believe.
Inflation, dude. That's why. That's probably why. Everything costs more right now.
Yeah.
So, like,
I was going to say, because, like, 2018, they built 4 roller coasters. So, yeah, like...
Well, it's like we were saying with Dollywood, like, that's, like, their biggest single investment ever. But it's, like, is it because the cost of steel is, like, outrageous?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, but I do think, like, these are a lot of small, necessary, for the most part, things. Great America, I don't understand it all, but... Especially the Michigan's Adventure, I mean...
Oh, my gosh, they must be spending so much money on that new investment into that park. you guys better go out to Michigan's Adventure. Like, take advantage of that while you still can. Well, let's hear from you guys down in the comments below. What do you think of all of the brand new for 2023 Cedar Fair announcements? If you like what you see, and if you're going to be making it out to the parks next year, and what you're looking forward to most. So,
especially that 500-foot T-Rex at King's Dominion.
Oh, yeah.
Really want to hear what you think of that.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.